good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Fundraising BIDness Talk. I'm Patrick Cyber. I'm the owner and lead auctioneer at gEvents LLC, and it is so great to see everybody today. Or not see them, but, be in the same, what do you call it, hyperspace, cyberspace with you. So thank you so much for joining us. Hey, as we get started, I want to remind everybody, please feel free. Always enjoy hearing from those that are out there in the audience. So feel free to say hi, tell us where you're tuning in from today. Also encourage you at any point, ask questions. I'm more than happy to answer those questions, and whether they're on topic or not. So feel free to fire those up. So thanks again for tuning in, and we're going to dive right into it today. Hey, folks, we just got done at gEvents. We just got done doing a golf tournament this week, and we've done several golf events where we use Auctria as our software, as our event management software. I had the honor of joining Lori Hockman a few months back and did a little webinar, I guess they're called, on how to use your fundraising auction software to manage a golf event. And we just completed one this week, and every time I do one with Auctria, I get so excited because I learn how to do something new. I learn how to add something to it. So today I wanted to share with you a little bit about some of the things that we did, some observations from the week that leading up, and the planning process, and things that seem to work really, really well. So first and foremost, the event is a pretty straightforward event. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And this is our event. It's for a construction company here in Oregon, and they do great work. And every other year, they identify 3 nonprofit beneficiaries that they want to support with a fundraising golf tournament. And so they have done this for several years, but I got involved in 2020 and started helping them manage their event, and it's just been a hoot ever since. But so I wanted to share with you, because I think the most powerful part of using Auctria to help you with your golf event is the flexibility of the website. I just think it's unbelievable, the opportunities that you have. And one of the things that also stuck out in my mind is that we have one central location for our customers and our fans to go directly to one location to find out all the information about the golf tournament, and making it readily available, right? So I'm just going to run through this website and share with you some of the things that we saw and did. Hey, thanks, Joseph McCoy, tuning in today from down there, downtown Portland. Great to see you, Joseph, and hope all is good with you, buddy. So we're going to just dive into it, and we'll roll through. This is the homepage of the event. Pretty straightforward stuff, and we're in the process. We'll be updating it after today, because we want to make it still relevant, right? So we'll do some things, and I'll talk about that. But I left a lot of the stuff current from leading up to the event, so you get an opportunity to see how it looked, right? So first and foremost, we always, as bold and as big as we can, where are we going to have the tournament? When is the date, right? And then we talk about joining us, just a welcome comment to get people excited about joining us. And then we turn around and we always provide them an opportunity to sign up now, right? So even though it's up here at the top, okay, I always use the button feature in Auctria to help me, let somebody read something, and then a call to action. Sign up now after you've read about the event, or you're interested in the entire schedule of events. Bingo, here it is. And this is a really nice feature of Auctria, is that you can embed what they call preview a document, right? So you can upload a PDF. And the nice thing about making it an uploadable PDF is that you have the opportunity to download it. So your guest who comes to the page to see how the event, see that schedule of events, they can turn around, and if they say, okay, great, I want to download a copy of this, maybe I'm going to print it off and share it with my guests. Maybe I'm going to do whatever they're going to do with it. They have that opportunity, and I just think it's a great feature. So we put a much more detailed schedule of events here. We make sure as the tournament goes along, as the planning process goes along, and as people commit to participate and support by those sponsorships, we constantly are updating this document, right? So many times I see organizations hosting a golf event and they produce this really nice flashy brochure, and it's got all the information and it's got all the sponsorships and how to participate. Maybe it's got a sign up piece of paper that they can mail in or fax in or whatever. Do people still use faxes? Anyhow, there's a lot of features to it, and it's beautiful piece of work, but it's outdated as soon as you produce it, right? And because of the flexibility in Auctria, where you can constantly update documents and constantly update your website, you can incorporate all those sponsorships in. So you'll notice that Ike is, as Merit Electric committed to be the presenting vice sponsor, I could update this document and it always is in its most current form. And so it's just it's a great way to share with your sponsors and supporters that you're doing some cool stuff for them and showcasing. But so here's the complete schedule of events, gives all the detail. I find that I like to keep it simple on the homepage, give people just a taste, and then direct them how to learn more about whatever element you're promoting on the front page. Now, this is a kind of a cool, fun deal. This is just a photo carousel here. And what we did was we took photos from 2 years ago when we last did the event, hence why people were wearing masks. And we just made it a rotating photo album so people could see that people were having a good time at the event a year ago or 2 years ago in 2020. And it's kind of fun because you see all the masks, right? But it brings back good memories. And the fact that people are having a good time always helps you to sign up new people, right? So as I mentioned, 2 buttons here, sign up now and schedule. Let's take a look at sign up now, because I think that's really cool. And what we've done here is that we have created sponsorships for each of the sponsorship packages, and we have added them right into here. And you can see it's all sold out now, okay, because the event has happened and we've sold all the sponsorships. But one of the things that's great about Auctria is that you can sell multiples. These are all for sale items, right? And you can put a quantity on it. And so when you have sold that many spots, okay, that many of that item, it will put a sold out on it. And I think it's really cool. I want you to ignore this one here. This is an auction item. And I changed the type of item it is because I sold multiples the other day. And so I changed the type of item so it's showing up on this catalog page, but it normally wouldn't. What I love about that is it also shows you how many are left, right? And I think that creates urgency in your customer who's viewing your website, and helps to generate some sales. So this is our lowest level sponsorship. You can see the higher levels, right? Which is fantastic. And as soon as, we start off with something that's kind of an icon for that package, right? So you can see here, it just says partner. If that item only has, let's say, one sponsor opportunity, it's only available to one company. When we sell it, we replace the avatar or the icon for that one item, and we replace it with the company logo, right? So when people look here, they know that Parker Smith and Feek is the specialty sponsor on a $100,000 hole-in-one shootout, right? So it's a cool opportunity for them. Give them a little bit extra. It's really a dual purpose. It showcases your sponsors, lets people know that they're involved. But selfishly for the organizer, I think it's fantastic in this situation where when you put those logos up there and somebody who comes to the website to peruse and hopefully purchase something, they might see their peers, they might see their competitors, and they want to be a part of this event, right? So putting those logos there is pretty special and a good opportunity. And sometimes we have multiple sponsors on one item, like on our golf carts here. We actually sold it twice. There was 2 carts in each group, so every group had 1 cart that had the Cal Portland on it. The other one had McDonald and Weddell. And so on the icon here at the sponsorship page, we split that. So it's a cool little deal. But I think this is a great feature of Auctria. What I love about it is I've seen so many golf tournaments, folks, where people are running them by a committee. They've got that fancy sales brochure put together, and nobody knows where we stand on our inventory, right? And the way I look at it is that first one who actually pays us is the one that gets it, okay? So the nice thing here is because it's an Auctria and because it's an item, they can make the transaction 24/7, right? They can come here, they can buy a partner package, they can click on it. It automatically will take their payment on credit card, which is fantastic. And we've got our money right away. And of course, we set the credit card payment to offer them to pay the credit card fees to maximize our support of the nonprofits. And I would say probably about 75 to 80% of the folks take that option. So it's not costing us anything to take the credit cards because that credit card fee is built into when they purchased it, right? But it allows your customer the opportunity to purchase a team and get immediate feedback that they have purchased something with your event, right? Because of the system emails. When they buy that package, they are instantly going to get an email through the Auctria software that's going to tell them, give them a statement and tell them that they have paid for their team, right? Or whatever sponsorship that they bought. So, and for those who don't know, that's obviously back here in the system emails. If you go to communication and you look at your system emails, they're all right here. And what's great is you can modify those, right? So even though they're set up as like a bidder statement, well, I set it up. I go ahead and I edit it, okay, because you're allowed to do that within Auctria. Customize it with our event logo. I changed the terms to be more golf oriented, which is going to be more obvious in something like the ticket statement, where instead of it saying, your bidders are bidder details, it's going to say golfer details, right? So I changed that myself. I don't know about you. I don't know what auction software you're using. I'm not familiar with any that give you that level of flexibility. So this is a really cool feature. And to be able to customize all these emails, I'm going to talk a little bit more about emails here in a few minutes, but let's go back to the website for now, because I think communication is always key in these events, right? People are always wondering, what time do I need to be there? What time is this? Who am I playing with? All those different things, right? So now once we've got them signed up, we've got them, they've seen the schedule events. We're also going to have an auction because I think in golf tournaments, fundraising golf tournaments as a rule, it's very difficult to make enough profit on the green fees alone, right? On the participation fees, that you're very challenged to make enough money to justify the expense, right? The investment. What I do find though is when, most tournaments try to add little specialty things throughout the golf tournament, whether it's a, special KP contest that they charge $20 at the tee box, or it's a marshmallow drive, or it's a red rope, or it's a mulligan kit, or it's, whatever it is, right? I've always been of the opinion that a lot of these events, people do not want to be what I consider nickel and dimed, right? Once I've paid my fee, I want to experience the event. And more importantly, a lot of times your event is the people who are buying participation in your event are corporate entities, and maybe they're going to be entertaining clients. And the last thing they want is for their client to show up at the golf course early prior to them arriving and be asked to spend money. I just think it's the wrong way to go about it. So we always make it kind of an all-inclusive pricing. All the contests are hosted. They're already paid for. And a lot of times we'll sponsor each one of those and cover the cost of that, whatever that contest is, with the sponsorship fee, right? So So you very rarely in anything that I'm involved in will you ever see somebody asked to go in their wallet out on the golf course. Now, what I will say is that I think that auctions are a tremendous opportunity if they're done correctly. Okay, and when I say that, there's a lot of elements that go into it, but one of the things that sticks out to me in a big way is that remember who your audience is. Who's your audience at your golf tournament and what's important to them? If you've got a predominantly male audience who's been playing in your golf tournament and drinking beer all afternoon, and you're going to try to sell a spa package, good luck to you. Okay. That's probably not the way to go unless you got a talented benefit auctioneer who's going to get up and talk about, hey guys, you've kind of made a mess of yourselves today and you need to get out of jail free card. Here's your opportunity at this wonderful spa package. Take it home and let your spouse know that you bought them a package at the local spa. You get away with it, but you get the point, right? So we want things that are important to the audience. Okay. So in this event in particular, interestingly enough, we did 4 packages. 3 of them involved entertainment with the host organization. So the host organization is a construction company. The participants in the event are primarily subcontractors. So they're people who do work for this primary construction company. And so the opportunity to spend time with those key executives or those key decision makers at that company has a value. And so we created 4 packages. 3 of them are driven right at this goal where they have an opportunity to spend some time with associates from the primary construction company. In this case, we had fishing with their team. We had a special ringside steakhouse dinner, which is a classic steakhouse here in Portland. And then we also had a hops or grapes tour where it was a really cool special vehicle and they would customize an adventure for you and you would bring 4 of your people and the construction company would bring 4 of their people. And you could either go wine tasting, which is great here in Oregon, obviously, or you could go to distilleries. There are several now in Oregon that you can go and do tastings at, or the microbrew scene. Obviously, this was a microbrew capital of the world for a long time. And so really unique opportunities, right, for you to spend more time with that group. Now, you heard me say a minute ago, I don't like to see people have to go into their pocket at the event. This is unique. This is more of a choice, right? And interestingly enough, it generated us $12,500 on Monday. Okay. Our 4th package, because you're wondering, he said he had 4. The 4th package was more for one person, right? Or for a person to buy with personal funds. And that was a 7-day excursion to Mexico that we purchased through a consignment company, our good friends at Raise with R&R. And it's a 7-day package. And we ended up selling 3 of them, which is another benefit of using consignment, is that we can multiply those packages once we reach a bid price that we're comfortable with. If we have multiple bidders at that bid price, then let's multiply it. We ended up selling it 3 times and raising a bunch of money for our beneficiaries that way. Okay. And then the other thing that we did here is we outlined who our beneficiaries were for the year. And so we listed each of the 3 organizations. We gave some information about them, kind of an overview. And then we made it so that when you wanted to learn more, it took you to their website, okay, which was really, really handy. And then, of course, you can't thank your sponsors enough, right? So Auctria makes it really simple to thank your sponsors with this is just a single image because this is our highest level sponsor. And then we added a sponsor row. So when we sell that package, the first thing we do is ask them for a JPEG or a PNG of their logo. And then we assign that to their bidder record where they bought the package. And then it automatically will put those in here if that item that we sold them, if we had marked the is sponsorship checkbox on the item itself, right? So a great way for people to get exposure. And for your committee or for you running the event, it's kind of a turnstile deal. It just happens because you set it up right. That's one of the things that I love about what we're doing with Auctria here and with the golf tournaments. And then lastly, I always leave a space. I don't care whether it's a charity auction, whether it's a golf tournament. I always give people on the front page when they come to the event. Maybe they're not a golfer, maybe they've got a date conflict, but they still want to support the efforts of the primary people hosting the event. And so I give them an opportunity to make a donation. We received several donations from folks just because they came to the website, they saw it, and they made a donation to help the beneficiaries. So really, really, really cool stuff. Now, one of the things that I did want to chat with you about, because we got a lot of feedback on it this year, and I thought it was really, for whatever reason, I think as we are evolving out of COVID, things are kind of changing. You've heard me say a lot of times, please don't go back to 2019. We're past that. The world has changed. We're in a different environment. You need to if you haven't been able to do your golf event for the last couple of years because of the pandemic or for whatever reason, don't automatically go back to the event you did 2019. Okay. So I've always been a huge fan. We started with lunch at 11. The club, based on maintenance schedules and things of that, the earliest they would let us tee off is 12:30. I'm always a big fan of whenever we have corporate involvement, that I like to get people out the door as soon as we can after the event, because I think, the workday has ended. And for many of them who took off from work that day to participate in the event, yes, it was a business entertainment opportunity. It was a marketing opportunity. All that's accurate. At the end of the day, they want to get home to their family. So one of the things that we do, a couple of things we do, first and foremost, is this format of play that we use. If you I'm going to go over really quick. We call it a rotating scramble. And what that means is people will all start on the forwardmost tee, and they'll hit their shot. They'll pick the best shot. They'll move all the other balls to that best shot position. And they continue that format till they finish the hole. They'll only have one score on that hole. And that score on that hole will determine which tees they play on the following hole. So in other words, if you can see here, if they make a birdie, they move back a set of tees on the next hole. If they make an eagle, they move back 2 sets of tees. If they somehow make a bogey, which is possible, they move forward a set of tees. One of the reasons I love this format, folks, is that it really levels the playing field. We do not incorporate handicaps, which as an organizer makes it a heck of a lot easier, not having to verify handicaps, not having to secure handicaps from people. It's just a challenge. Okay. And inevitably, in the golf industry, we call it sandbagging. Somebody has an illegitimate handicap. They're better than what their handicap says. And you can't really call them. It's cheating is what it is, but you can't really call that on them because they're a sponsor or they're important to you financially. And yet you got to protect the field because you've got other big sponsors who are suffering because of that. So I do away with handicaps, no handicaps. And it's amazing. And you can see it here in the tournament results. We had 28 teams play in this event, minus 12 won. And with the exception of a couple of odd ones, there was 25 of the 28 teams were within 12 shots of each other, right? So that's a really nice, tight, competitive event with no handicaps is really cool. So, give it some thought. Maybe that'll work for you. And then the last thing I want to draw your attention to is the after golf, right? Because this is where we're going to do our auction. So we want to have some after golf. We allowed online bidding throughout the week in advance. We opened the bidding a week in advance on this event. And then we closed it live. Now, we didn't have a lot of online activity because it's a new concept to this group. So we ended up closing it primarily at the event with just live bidding because the people who had bid online were actually in the room. But we had opened it up to people who were not participating in the event. And they could have bid. They didn't, but that's okay. They will in the future once the word gets out. So, but what we do here is we do a reception, right? We don't do a steak dinner. And the reason we don't is because even with a shotgun start, anybody who's been in the golf industry knows that they may all start at one time, but they're going to finish within a window of about 45 minutes, right? And when you finish within 45 minutes of each other, uh, that's a long spread for somebody who's been out on the golf course all day. You don't want them to have nothing to eat because they're waiting for other guys to finish out on the golf course and waiting, trying to time for your kitchen, your culinary team, trying to time, the doneness of steaks. And, why should you wait for the last group, right? So what we do is we just do a cocktail hour, kind of a happy hour, a lot of hand food, small plate type stuff, gives people plenty of things to eat and drink. Just we want them to have something right away, but we don't want to hold up the party, and we don't want to, so it works out really well. So think about that versus the big steak dinner. And as far as your venue is concerned, your dollars spent, you're going to spend the same amount of money basically. It's not really a cost savings; it's more of an experience enhancement to go to that format. And we got a lot of feedback on it this year. Just night before last, people were like, "Wow, this is great!" I finished. I had a couple of bites, got to say hello to some people, was able to participate and leave. It was great. I didn't feel like I missed out. And the week before, a friend of mine was running an event, same club, and she was telling me that they had the steak dinner, and it was a wonderful meal, but they only served about 60% of the audience because people left. And so you're sitting on 40% of dinners. That's 40 steak dinners that you wasted, right? And if you're doing this event for fundraising, please don't do that, right? It feels bad. Okay. So anyhow, this has been, this kind of gives you a sense of the website. The next thing I'll do is I'll turn this over. I'll turn this into a thank you. Okay. And then we'll also point him to the tournament results. We'll have all the results right here. They're already right here. And then we'll try as soon as we can put the dates up for next year. Okay. So it's pretty cool. So let's take a minute, look at the back end, right? Because I talked about customizing the emails. And one of the reasons I'm a huge fan of that is because Auctria makes it very simple. Okay. And every time somebody gets signed up for the event, we have their email address and we can start communicating with them all from one place. We don't have to grab information from different locations on our servers. We don't have to compare it to our inventory. It's all done for you. And all we have to do is kind of customize it. And so even from gathering player contact information, right? So, when I think about the ticket statement is one of my favorite documents, because let's say that person buys a team in your event early on. Well, it will assign tickets to everyone. Now I call them golfers. I don't call them tickets, right? But your guest can update the details on any one of their players at any time, right? They can change the name, they could change the email, they can change the phone number. So incredibly powerful. The other thing that I always do is I kind of customize these as we go, right? So as we get closer to the event, there's more information I want to share with them, right? So initially we're just saying thank you. You'll receive more information close to the event. And then as we get closer to the event, we start talking about, hey, please update your player information. But it's all done automatically right through Auctria. We can send it as a bulk email to every bidder or every golfer or every person that's purchased tickets. We can also go into an individual record, go to an individual bidder, and we can send just to that group. We can send, or just to that person. We can send them an e-ticket. We can also we can go back and we can send to somebody who has a whole team, right? You can go in and we can preview, look at their statement, and we can send them the whole thing or just individual. It's incredibly powerful. And what I love about it is Auctria has made it really simple for them to be redirected back to the tournament website, because at the tournament website, that's where they can learn how to bid, online. This is where they can look at the schedule. This is where they can look at the venue, so they know the directions or know the the name of the golf course they're going to. There's so many things that make sense to have it all come from one place, and I think Auctria makes it incredibly easy to do. So, with that being said, I would be happy if anybody asked any questions. Let me know. Fire up a question. Let's answer it for you and share it with you. Feel free to let me know if you have a question, and we'll fire it up and ask them. We'll just give them a couple of seconds. And while we're doing that, hey, as always, I want to remind everybody. I said Auctria. Put it up there on the screen one more time for you. Auctria.com. They do a terrific job. They're giving seminars every week, teaching you how to use the software. They've wealth of knowledge. Feel free to check it out. If you got questions for me directly, go to gEventsLLC.com and feel free to, there's a Calendly app on there, and you can schedule a time for a quick Zoom, or if you're here in the Portland market, want to get together in person, whatever works for you, reach out, ask your questions, let us know, and we would be happy to see if we can help you raise some more money through golf. And then, as always, we're here every Wednesday, folks. Fundraising BIDness Talk is live Wednesdays at noon right here on your favorite social media channels. And if you missed today's episode, want to watch a replay, you can catch it on the social media channels, but you can also go to fundraisingbidnesstalk.com, and all 68 episodes are up there on the website. Pull any one of them down. Lots of great information, hopefully help you raise even more money than you're raising today and help your nonprofit organization. Until next time, folks, I'm Patrick, and thanks for tuning in. Encourage you to always recognize that every bid is raising money for your favorite nonprofit, and the last bid always wins. Bid high, bid often. We'll see you next Wednesday. I appreciate it. In fact, next Wednesday, fun week, Nicholas is going to be joining us from Lux Give, and we're going to be talking about the high-end villa consignment arena, where stay in private homes, special experience type stuff. And Lux Give is doing a great job in that market. We're going to be chatting with Nicholas. He's our CEO and founder, and we're going to be talking to him about how to use consignment to raise more money in your packages and your auctions. And we will have a lot of fun. So, hey, my buddy Denise is chiming in there. Good to see you, Denise. I know we need to catch up, but thanks for tuning in. And Denise is doing a great job over there at the Campbell course, home of the children's course, and First Tee Greater Portland, running all their fundraising events and making them, helping them do some incredible stuff for the young people in our community. So always great to see you, Dee. She helps me out quite a bit all the time. So, alrighty, folks, have a terrific Wednesday, and don't hesitate to reach out if we can ever be assistance. Have a great day.